We're just excited about all the program success.
We want to do what we need to do.
Thanks, Zach. Go Cards.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Zac Bruney Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head football coach Zac Bruney. And Zach, you guys have gone through camp this month. Talk about camp overall and how it went for you guys.
Camp went well. Long process, 3 weeks. Classes are starting Monday, so you get the advantage of a little longer, football-only time with them before the academic responsibilities start. But it's a longer process. Guys get wary a little bit of the constant banging on each other. But offensively, defensively, special teams, we got, the installation done. We got a lot of, repeat work done. So it went well overall. We're pleased with, our health and our depth right now. And the young guys have come along pretty nicely over these first 3 weeks.
And looking at the group as a whole, talk about some of the guys who might have surprised you this camp or who had a kind of standout performance for you.
Well, I think, the veterans performed like veterans. We have some veteran leadership back on offense, 2 quarterbacks with a lot of experience in Javon and Landon. The receiver room is a year older. Pretty much everybody's back in that piece, and we've added some young guys in the mix. The running back room has done a great job. Stevie Mitchell kind of splitting his time last year between receiver and running back, and then, taking over primarily as a running back this fall for us. Some guys have stepped up and added good depth. DeJuan Green, Marion Taylor, and Rodney James, coming off an injury in the spring, all provide us with 4 capable backs to come in and give us a lot of depth and juice. Tight ends and fullbacks have done well. Defensively, a lot of experience back. The defensive line has performed like veterans. That's probably the most experienced group. Linebackers have done well. Jack Perry, Dalton Hoover, JoJo Holmes, the 3 senior leaders in that room. And then defensive back, getting Messiah Thorne back, having Brendan Barksdale back, Justin McElwain with a lot of experience last year as a true freshman, Cam McMillan, another experienced guy. Still hoping to get James Walker back at some point based on recovering from an injury. So good depth, specialists, good job. Trey Brady and Joe Lima. Caden Cook added to the mix in the spring, and we got a veteran long snapper added from a transfer standpoint, and Alex Tappan. So pretty pleased overall. And the young guys have impressed. We'll still see how they do, coming up in these next couple weeks. Got some JV games for them to kind of get on tape and to show us a little more.
And you guys had the opportunity through camp to have 2 inter-squad scrimmages against each other. Talk about those 2 kind of scrimmages and how they helped you as you prepare for the year.
Well, it gives you a little more of a test, you know what I mean, as opposed to just a typical practice day where you go through your individual periods, your special teams periods, your group periods, your 7-on-7s, your inside runs, and your team. Scrimmages give you an opportunity to evaluate your guys in live scenarios. And in Division II, though, you don't get a preseason scrimmage against another team. You get that in the spring. You don't get that in the preseason. So you have to, do well with your scrimmages as far as what you want to see and what you want to get done, but you also have to be smart. The live reps have to be kind of counted, and you don't want to get too much, but you don't want to not be ready because football does require a lot of, physicality to it, and you want to get the proper physicality without overdoing it, and you want your guys ready, but you want your guys healthy as well. So it's kind of a catch-22, but I think our 2 scrimmages that we went under the lights, and we kind of gave it more of a game-like feel and scenario because our first 3 games are night games, and it provided our team with good energy, and the guys elevated their level of practice. We like to call it an accelerated practice, even though it's a scrimmage-like scenario. It's not a game, but it is an accelerated practice when you get some live action in a scrimmage.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head football coach Zac Bruney. And Zach, guys have a nice test here in week 0 against Mercyhurst, a new Division I program. Talk about this matchup with Mercyhurst and kind of what you're looking at.
Well, it came to fruition, when they were still Division II. I know Coach Remedio pretty well. He was an assistant, longtime assistant in Mercyhurst. He's been entrenched in their program for a while. Does a very good job in recruiting. Their staff, I think, has for the most part been together for quite some time. They're adding a new offensive coordinator this year. They have a veteran quarterback coming back. They have some very good personnel returning. They're kind of like us. They have some experience in some spots, and then some other guys that will kind of be new to the fold. Great for them that they got the opportunity to move up to an FCS program to join the NEC. I think this first year they have to kind of patchwork and piecework their schedule together. So it was originally scheduled for us to play them in week 0 as a PSAC Division II opponent. It kind of changed a little bit in the spring. The game stayed, it stayed consistent though, and we're able to get it done. So we appreciate them kind of hanging in there with us and staying on our schedule. We're excited to play. I'm sure they're excited to play. It's a good regional matchup, because we're not too far away from each other. We've recruited a lot of the same areas, I'm sure, over the past 4 or 5 years: Western PA, Eastern PA, Northeast Ohio, Columbus. So they have a good group of guys returning. I know they're excited for the team that they got back. They're moving into kind of a new threshold for their program, and I'm sure there's a lot of energy and positivity that'll be coming down here next Thursday. But we're looking forward to it, and hopefully it'll be a great game.
And talk about the atmosphere here on Thursday night. Going to be under the lights, home game against a big opponent like Mercyhurst. Talk about the atmosphere and how you guys are going to handle it.
Well, we've had some really good experiences the last couple of years playing a Thursday night opening game here at home. We've been lucky to have those last 2 openers at home here on a Thursday night. The crowds have been great. I think the start of school, right, the start of football season always gives everybody a little bit of energy and juice. And to have it on Thursday night, kind of away from the high school games that are occurring on Friday. And then, everybody loves college football on a Saturday afternoon. But, in our area, you got a lot of High State fans. You got a lot of WVU fans. You got a lot of Marshall fans, Pittsburgh, Penn State. So to kind of have our own spot in that first week to play Thursday night should give our guys a lot of, energy, excitement. Our community supports our program. Our university supports our program. So we're just looking forward to another opportunity to get back out there to start our season and to hopefully do it in front of a great atmosphere. And we encourage everybody to come on out and watch us play.
And finally, from your standpoint, talk about what you're looking for your guys from this first week of games as you guys kind of get things started.
Well, you want to compete. You want to win, right? You want to start. You want every week to kind of start and end at 1-0. And this being the first game of the season, you want to be 1-0. But in the process leading up to it, we're finally kind of out of camp. We are in game week. But each day has to be approached as a day that will allow us to be 1-0 for the day. And then hopefully our process and our preparation will all come to fruition when you actually compete, because you're so limited in the amount of times you actually compete when you play football. 11 guaranteed chances in our division to play. But the amount of weeks and the amount of days and the amount of months and the amount of hours and minutes that you put in to actually prepare far outweighs the actual time and competition in comparison to other sports. So we want to be our best version of ourselves when we finally get our opportunities to compete for those 60 minutes or more, whatever it takes to be 1 point ahead of the opponent come Thursday night when the clock hits 0, or we've played a lot of overtime games too these first few years. So whatever it takes to have one more point than the opponent, hopefully that's what we can do to be successful.
Thanks, Zach. Good luck this week. Can't wait to see you out there.
Can't wait. Thanks, guys.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zac Ziegler.
We're just excited about all the program success.
We want to do what we need to do.
Thanks, Zach. Go Cards.